What's up, guys? I'm in here taking apart my Sabre once again. This is the restrictor that was in the power tube. The easy way to take it out is just to kind of make like a straw with your hand or whatever and just blow on this, and the restrictor will pop out. So it just fell out. I just blew through this and it fell out. So I'm gonna fire this with no restrictor in it, and I'm also gonna take that O-ring out because it's probably gonna fly down the valve power tube thing right now. So I'm gonna take this out and see what it does. Hopefully it works. What's up, guys? So here's my restrictor I pulled out of the power tube and the O-ring. So this is basically fully open. I have not shot it yet. I don't know what it's gonna do. I'm gonna be using Grimburg Joules V3s, about 7.7 grams. I have one breech loaded in the breech. It's kind of hard to see because the sun's all stupid right now, but one in the breech, 7 in the mag, Crossman cartridge. It's about 78 degrees Fahrenheit out here. I think that's like 25 Celsius. So it's warm. It's not super warm, but it's pretty warm. I don't know what this is gonna do. It might fart out all the air. It might get 2 shots. It might perform perfectly. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm going to put pressure on this, but not puncture it yet. Put it in the Sabre, and then move all my stuff over here and get my chronograph. And we'll see if this holds air, if it shoots all the air out, and all that stuff. So I'm gonna pressurize this. It's pressurized, no leaking or nothing. So this is the first shot with the unrestricted Sabre launcher. 276. It did not fart. 210. It did lose all the air pressure though, pretty sure. 204. So I'll probably end up drilling out that restrictor to see what it does. 186. 176. 180. 160. 170. I think I'm out. Let me check. All right, I'm out of rounds. That was 8 rounds. I'll do another magazine, see if I have another high shot, but I feel like it probably lost all the air pressure from the CO2 cartridge. It's mostly spent at this point because it's not restricted, and that I didn't measure the opening, but the opening's pretty wide. It looks like the opening where the restrictor is blocking, it looks like at least a 1/4 inch, if not like 3/8. So I'm gonna reload this and be right back. One thing I'm gonna try is I'm gonna take this twisty thing off and put my remote line adapter and try an HPA tank and try a CO2 tank and see how hard this hits, if it hits hard at all. 252. It has been sitting for about 2 minutes, or a minute at least. 238. Kind of random. 228. 218. This is the same CO2 cartridge, so this is shocking to me. 210. 200. 194. And I think that's it. I think there's like 1 or 2 more left. 190. That's it for that one. I'll try one more magazine. I don't know what it's gonna do. That's pretty random that it's shooting higher. To me anyways, I'm just pretty sure there's probably someone that knows why it is hitting just as hard, or seems to be hitting just as hard. So I'm gonna get this. This is the 3rd magazine on the same CO2, and this is shot number 17 through 24. If it shoots all of them. Grimburg Joules V3s. 206, 192, 182, 170. Now it feels like it's running out of power. 166, but now I know that it will shoot without a restrictor in the handle. I can try this again a couple times on CO2s. 150 to see if it farts or something weird. 144, and then possibly my my magazine. That first load, sometimes I have issues where the like when I have my remote line on it, sometimes I get like slower speeds for some reason every single time I shoot. See, I'm pretty sure it's out now. So it still gets 3 mags. It's hitting a lot harder than before. So I'm gonna take this twisty thing off and put my remote line on here, which is inside the bag. So I'll be right back. Alright, you guys, I got my twisty thing off. You just need a like a punch and a hammer. This is from a watch kit, and you can pop this pin out. I've shown it in lots of other videos how to do that. And this is the this pin fits in here. There's a small ball and a spring inside this plastic piece. So I have my Roscoe First Strike Roscoe remote line adapter in here. This piece is like, I don't know, $11 to $15 depending where you buy it. Rockstar Tactical has it. I think Ansgear has it. A couple other websites have that thing. And this is my Tippmann HPA tank. It has nearly 2,000 psi left, maybe 1,900. This output, I think, is it's advertised at like 900. So I don't know. I don't have a pressure gauge checker to put on the top of this and see what it's actually outputting. I'm probably going to buy one pretty soon. I saw them on Amazon. They're like $10. But yeah, I'm going to put this together. I'm going to put Joules V3s in there. Typically on the launchers I have that have a restrictor in them, Salt Spy S2, and like any Umarex product, if I ever use the restrictor in the handle, I don't usually have it like that, but if I ever use them like that, the HPA tank does not perform as well for me, because I have these sub 1100 psi output tanks. It's usually not as strong as CO2, but this one, since I pulled that restrictor out of the power tube, this one should probably, I'm thinking it's going to hit that same, like at least like 250 feet per second, or maybe like 220. When I blasted this, I think I was using alien plays with the restrictor in the power tube, this thing, which is not in here anymore. But when I did it with this, not drilled out, this is drilled out 1mm, but when I did this previously with the HPA tank in this line, I think it got like 8.5 joules or something. It was really weak. So I'm going to pressurize this. It's pressurized, and Grimburg Joules V3s are in there, and I'm going to be right back. Alright, you guys, I got the Sabre on the remote line with the HPA tank. Grimburg Joules V3s, I got 8 of them in there. I breech loaded one with the 7-round magazine, so there's 8, and here we go. .224. No farting, no leaking, no nothing. 226. 228. 230. So it's kind of climbing for some reason. Went back down. So this tank, the way it is right now, like maybe I'll get like a couple of shots just barely above 230. But it's probably going to stay in this 220 to 230 feet per second with the Grimburg Joules V3s. And I think that is out. Yeah, so I'm going to, I'll load up some more in here. I'm going to turn off my air tank. I'll load up some more and then shoot out the rest. Alright, you guys, air tank is off. Grimburg Joules V3s in here, 7 of them. I'll just see what this does with no pressure getting fed into it. 184, 164, 142, 120. I'll be surprised if this one reads or if it fires. 000, barely made it to the box. And mag dump. So out of rounds, I'm going to connect my CO2 tank to it and see what it does. So I think the highest the HPA got was 230. Alright you guys, this tank is about 80% full. I weighed it, and the HDR, I shot the TR68 with it. I think I did like 20 shots with that, and it took out about 80 grams of CO2 because it was fully open. So yeah, this has about 400 grams of CO2 in it. So it's pressurized. I have 8 Joules V3s in there, and I'm just putting this in my backpack, and I'll be right back. Alright you guys, I'll see what this does. I lost 1 Joule. I don't know where it went. Might have went in the box somewhere. I'll probably find it later, but yeah, I counted and I only had 49. So regardless, here we go. CO2 tank and the Sabre not restricted. Jesus, 300. 302. 304. 306. 310. I don't know why it's climbing, but it is. 310. It's probably not going to go any higher than that. 310. So yeah, this thing is hitting like a champ right now. So for $150, I mean, I wouldn't run it this way all the time, but for 150 bucks, that's pretty damn good for a cheap launcher. I'm gonna depressurize this. So the unrestricted Sabre on a CO2 tank, like the one I have in my backpack, outperforms the Burna LE, outperforms the Salt Supply S2. I'm not sure what else. Maybe the TCP, maybe the Pepperball TCP. I don't have one of those, so I don't know for sure. Maybe that thing can hit like 40 joules TCP. I'm going to shoot all the rest of the gas out of this. I already turned off my air valve, CO2 tank valve. 294. I got 7 more shots. 276. 260. 248. 228. 212. 192. I think that's it. 174. I think this is it. Yep, it's out of shots. So that's pretty crazy that it can hit that hard. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it this way. If I do leave it this way, I'm probably going to thread lock some of those screws, because I think the vibration and it hitting so hard is loosening them, and I don't want to over tighten them when I tighten them down. So the easiest thing to do is either add Teflon tape to the screw threads that attach the valve to the O-ring down here on the inside, or use thread locker. So I'll probably do Teflon tape, see how it holds up, and if that doesn't hold up that well, I'll end up doing blue thread locker, the non-permanent one. So yeah, this thing's a freaking beast. 310 FPS with a 7.7 gram ball. I know that 276 is like 26 joules, so I'd say it's probably close to 30 or like 32 joules, and it was consistent. And the reason it's consistent is because I'm not using a 12 gram. It's because I'm using this giant ass tank. And if this was full, if this tank was full, it'd have a higher pressure output. 80% full is almost the same as being 100% full. And if it was a super warm day, this would be putting out higher pressure. These tanks are not regulated, so what but what affects the output pressure is how full it actually is, which right now it's at about 80%. Maybe it's at 75 or 70% because I shot it like, 8 or 10 times. And the temperature. So these are not like HPA, like this thing where it's always putting out 800 psi output or 900 psi output. This is variable, but when it's full, it's high pressure, maybe up to 1,000 or 1,100 psi. And as this depletes, it goes from like 1,100 or 1,000 to like 900, and then down to like 700 or 800. And then obviously it causes more wear and tear on O-rings and seals and stuff because CO2 is so cold, and this is just air. So if I ever mess with my regulators on my HPA tanks and get that pressure gauge and can make them hit like 1,100 psi, I will do a comparison. Once this starts to go down, this will obviously probably hit harder because this is always going to be variable. But yeah, that's it for this one. Pretty freaking awesome for a cheap launcher, and I'll just see if it holds up to this abuse or if it just blows out or something at some point. But yeah, I'm probably going to Teflon tape these screws so they don't keep coming loose. I could hear a tiny leak, and I'm pretty sure it's because those screws are coming out slowly. And yeah, I'm probably going to leave this out for now. And I know that it can function on 12 gram CO2, and it will function on these, and it doesn't fart out all the air like how it would on a TR50. So yeah, that's pretty sick. If this keeps working well, eventually I'll get in a magazine, a second one, and just have one mag for CO2s, and just leave this magazine that I already dremeled out, just leave it alone and not put that back in there. The twisty thing, just leave it out. So I'll have two mags, one for CO2 and one for doing ridiculous shit like this. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for checking it out.